Okay, so we've now finished the third unit, and this one was all about teaching issues. So let's have a summary of what we've learned so far. In this unit, we covered teaching issues and things you need to consider when running this program in your centre. So we had a bit of a discussion about school readiness, and there's a great resource that you and your colleagues can go through together and think about other things to do with school readiness that I might not have covered. We talked about timing and grouping and what we know from the research. So we don't need to spend a lot of time teaching phonological awareness to children, and as I said in the lesson, 2 or 3, I think I said 2 lessons of 15 or 20 minutes a week will suffice. Now in some of your centres we know that not all children attend every day, so it might be that you're running the activities every day, but as long as children are getting that dosage of about 2 lessons a week on phonological awareness, then that's sufficient, and you want that to run for probably the 2 middle terms, so most of term 2 and 3 would be plenty. We talked about memory load. Not all activities are the same, even though they may seem to be working on the same skill. So I gave the example of rhyming. So to generate a rhyming word requires more memory load than to recognise or identify a rhyming word. So you need to think about that with the activities, and perhaps when the children are struggling with what you're teaching them, you might need to consider the memory load of the task. I said teach, don't test. So we don't want to be asking the children a load of questions, we want to be giving them the answers and then eliciting those answers back from them. So lots of scaffolding, lots of teaching. Some of these concepts are quite difficult and we can't expect the children to come up with the answers by themselves. So remember that, to teach, don't test. And also we're going to be talking about sounds and not letters. And we spent quite a bit of time talking about how you say sounds, so that you're saying the sound on their own, you're not putting a vowel sound at the end. So have a bit of time to think about that as well, and also the sounds that you are choosing. As we go further into the program, I will talk about that, particularly when we're comparing sounds, that we choose sounds that are quite different. So there's more of this to come. There are 2 worksheets I'd like you to take a bit of time to look at. One is called Sound Placement Cues, and it's a really useful resource. It shows you what we do with our mouth and our articulators to make different sounds. I think you'll find it very useful, particularly with your children who have a speech disorder. It will really help you think about what we're asking them to do with their mouth to make the different sounds, so that's a really useful resource. The other worksheet I'd like you to look at is called How Do I Sound? Go through this, and let me just grab my copy. Go through this and have a think about what sound the letters usually make, and then you might be able to think of some alternatives as well. The section on vowels is a little bit difficult, and we do this just to emphasise the fact that English has a lot of inconsistency in its rules, so it is quite difficult to learn how to read. So spend a bit of time on that, particularly the vowels are very interesting. There are some instructions there to help you. The little underscore is explained, so you know what to do. And also on the back, don't forget to flip over on the back. There are a number of nonsense words that I'd like you to have a go at reading out loud, and this will help emphasise how clever we are, that we can apply rules even when there's no meaning in that word. They're great activities to do with your colleagues. So as I said, just take some time to look at the handouts. There are handouts on the definitions. The more you read them, the quicker you'll cement that knowledge. And as always, we're here to help if you need us. If you've got any questions about the content or you're really not understanding something, feel free to email me on talk@soundsgoodtome.com.au. So we've now finished the first 3 units, and the next module you'll be looking at is module 1, where we get stuck into the program. So congratulations from getting through all that content. It will really hold you in good stead with the lessons to come. So I'll talk to you soon.